Hey everyone, I'm Robert and welcome back to Tone Chase Basement. Today we have something very heavy on the plate. It's a distortion pedal that has everything a high-gain guitarist could ask for. Massive tone, killer flexibility and a built-in noise gate that actually works well. And this is the Empress Heavy Menace, a compact, updated version of the legendary Heavy pedal. If you're into high-gain tones from hard rock crunch to chuggy metal brutality, this might be just your new favorite distortion box. So let's crank it up and see what it can do, but before we do that, please smash that like button and subscribe to my channel. It's really a great help to me and it's completely free. Before we get into the insane tones this thing delivers, let's talk about the company behind it, so Empress Effects. If you're a gearhead, then you already know their reputation. Empress is a Canadian boutique pedal company that's been making really high-end studio quality effects since 2005. They're known for insane build quality, transparent analog and digital circuits, and pedals that give you way more control over your tone than the competition. Their reverb, delay and EQ and compressor pedals have been staples on pro pedal boards for years. But when they dropped the original Heavy, it became an instant classic for high-gain players. Now with the Heavy Menace, they've taken everything great about the original and packed it into a smaller, more versatile package. So what makes the Heavy Menace special? Well, it's not just another high-gain pedal, it's one of the most versatile distortion boxes out there, and sound-wise one of the best sounding I've tried. So not saying this because they sent this pedal to me for keeps, but really this distortion box really transforms your clean pedal platform amp into a real high-gain amp-like character. So some of the main features of what you get, so 3 distortion modes or gain stages or let's say voicings in this pedal. Lightish, which you know, some lower gain classic rock sounds. Heavy for some old school 80s and 90s kind of grunge and thrash sounds, and heavier for more modern saturation and punch. So you are covered for everything from rock crunch to face melting metal. So let's hear the 3 voicings with the same riff with the gain at 2 o'clock, so you get the idea of what the gain range of this pedal is. One of the most important features, and a very important one actually, at least for me, is the built-in foot switchable noise gate, so no more unwanted noise, and this gate is actually very musical, so not just an on-off switch. You can fine-tune it with this little knob here for the threshold and sensitivity. There is also an option for the gate key input which allows you to trigger the noise gate with an external signal. Perfect if you're stacking multiple pedals. So if you're a player who demands a dead silent signal when you stop playing, but also doesn't want to lose sustain, the Heavy Menace's built-in noise gate is a must-have. So unlike standard noise gates that either chop off your sustain or don't react quickly enough, the gate on this pedal is really smart. So if you're tired of fighting with noise gates that either kill your tone or let too much hiss through, the Heavy Menace solves that problem right out of the box. The 3-band EQ with a sweepable mid frequency lets you dial in the perfect tone for any guitar or amp, and style of course. So the range is huge and very shapeable. The mid-range is the heart and soul of great distorted tone of course, and it is what gives your guitar presence, clarity and the ability to cut through any mix. And the Heavy Menace gives you total control over this crucial frequency range with a sweepable mid frequency that spans from 200 Hz to 2.5 kHz. This means that you can sculpt your tone to match your playing style and setup of course, and want the tight, aggressive scooped metal sound, dial the mids back, scoop them for a deep percussive chug that locks in with a heavy rhythm section. On the other hand, if you need definition and more modern articulation, then especially for leads and heavy low-tuned riffs or cutting through a dense band mix, push the mids up to bring up the clarity and bite. This flexibility makes the Heavy Menace perfect for a wide range of genres, from thick vintage-inspired distortion to ultra-modern high-gain brutality. So whether you're dialing in a warm, hunky mid-range for classic rock or a razor-sharp attack for technical metal riffs, this powerful EQ section ensures your tone is always punchy, precise and tailored to your needs. Now the weight control on the Heavy Menace is a game changer when it comes to shaping your low-end response. Unlike any traditional bass knob that simply boosts or cuts frequencies, the weight control functions as a high-pass filter within the distortion circuit, so giving you precise control over how your low end behaves. Crank it up and you'll get massive full-bodied sounds with deep rumbling lows, perfect for thick, sustaining chords and crushing wall of sound distortion. And this setting is great if you're going for a huge doom-like tone or just want to power chords to sound as fat as possible. Turn it counterclockwise and the low end gets tighter and more controlled, reducing any flubby or boomy bass frequencies. So this is perfect for fast, articulate riffing, palm muted chugs and extended range guitars where too much low end can muddy up your tone. And this level of low-end sculpting is something you don't often see in distortion pedals. And it allows you to match your tone to your amp perfectly, to your power tubes and guitar and of course your style perfectly. So whether you need a tight percussive attack for djent and modern metal or a thick massive sound for sludgy doomy riffs, the weight control gives you all the flexibility you need to dial in the right feel. What I really like about the character of this pedal is that it doesn't sound as a pedal, if you know what I mean. So it just feels right while you are playing it and it sounds like a real high gain amp. So it just blends into your amp and setup and it's like a real built-in channel of your amp and not just a coloring pedal that colors the clean channel of it. So it sounds and feels organic. It just no other better word for describing that. So the Empress Heavy Menace is not just another high-gain distortion pedal, it's a tone sculpting powerhouse designed for players who demand ultimate flexibility, pro-level sound, definitely, and rock-solid build quality. But who is this pedal really for? Well, if you are someone who plays across multiple genres and needs a distortion pedal that can cover everything from classic hard rock up to extreme metal, the Heavy Menace is a one-stop solution. Unlike some distortion pedals that lock you into a single type of high-gain sound, this pedal's three distinct modes, lightish, heavy, heavier, give you an insane range of tonal options. So with this level of versatility, it is a pedal that adapts to your playing style rather than forcing you to adapt to it. So also, if you love to shape your tone, this pedal gives you more control than almost any other high-gain distortion pedal out there. And one of the biggest improvements over the original Empress Heavy is the smaller, more compact enclosure. So if you're building a tight, space-efficient pedal board but still need studio quality high gain, the Heavy Menace is a perfect fit. Plus, with the built-in foot switchable noise gate, you don't need to add a separate gate pedal, saving even more space. If you're playing in high gain settings, recording or gigging, having a tight, noise-free signal chain without dedicating extra pedal board real estate is a huge win. Honestly, I'm blown away by how much control and versatility Empress packed into this pedal, and it's rare to find a high-gain distortion that feels this refined and professional, but the Heavy Menace nails it. So the weight knob alone is a game changer, giving you total control over your low-end response, whether you want tight percussion or earth-shaking heaviness. The gate is one of the best I've ever used, and the ability to sculpt your mids with studio-level precision is something that makes this pedal truly unique. So, it's not the cheapest distortion pedal out there, but for what you're getting, the Heavy Menace is absolutely worth it. If you want a high-gain distortion pedal that can do it all, this one belongs to your board, definitely. But hey, don't just take my word for it, let's hear it from you. Drop a comment below, And tell me, what's your go-to high gain distortion pedal right now, and would you swap it for the Heavy Menace, for example, or what other pedals should we compare it in a future video? Alright guys, that's it for today, and if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, subscribe, and also if you want more pedal reviews, tone tips, and deep dives into guitar and home studio gear, make sure to turn on the notifications so you don't miss out the next one. So thanks for hanging out with me here, until next time. And remember, the perfect tone is always just within reach.